Our council meeting. Good evening, Charlie. I'd like to call the meeting to order. If you would, please stand for our invocation led by Cherokee County Fire Chaplain Dana McPherson, and then we'll follow with a Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Most kind and gracious, loving Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for this day and the beautiful weather. Lord, we pray for this meeting as it goes forward through the night. Lord, we just pray that you just put your guided hand on it. Lord, make sure that all the decisions that are made is done for your honor and glory. Lord, we lift the council members up, the mayor, Lord, the law enforcement. Lord, the ones in this city, Lord, that makes this community what it is today. Lord, we just pray for Mr. Wilmarth as he retires, and Lord, we just pray to be with him throughout the rest of his life, being able to enjoy his life with his family. Lord, we just want to thank him for everything that he's done over the years for this city. Lord, we love you and thank you, and we just ask that you just lead, guide, and direct us and protect our men and women in our military. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Chaplain McPherson.
Put that slide in.
Our first item, we have appearance by City of Canton City Manager Billy Peppers. Come on up, Mr. Peppers.
This slide was not in my rotation an hour ago.
Special day.
Very special day. I'm not being paid to be here tonight like normal. I'm here on a voluntary role. I have had the pleasure of knowing Eric for a number of years, and so I was asked just to provide a listing of some of your accomplishments. So this is kind of like a roast, I think, but I'll do it in a pleasant way. So Eric installed a citywide sanitary sewer system on time and under budget, negotiating personally and obtaining over 500 easements, and didn't even have to use eminent domain. He obtained grant funding through the Transportation Enhancement Program for a complete streetscapes transformation of downtown Ball Ground. The project was not on time due to bankruptcy of the general contractor. It did finish under budget. During the time period when the bond was called, Eric kept the project moving by physically installing significant segments of brick sidewalk himself. He developed a roll out the red carpet, not the red tape mindset, which was ultimately trademarked within the city, paving the way for a complete downtown revitalization. The core downtown area went from just 3 businesses with most buildings completely shuttered to a thriving local economy. He increased the City of Ball Ground parkland holdings from 16 acres to over 100 acres. He obtained grant funding through Transportation Enhancement Program for Valley Street Streetscapes project, creating a welcoming pedestrian corridor between Valley Street and Ball Ground Creek, and established the Valley Street Linear Park. Planning, local contracting, grant resourcing, and development code changes that have resulted in just over 50% of Ball Ground residents being connected to downtown by sidewalks. Through development of relationships with Georgia Power and the private sector, Eric put together a partnership that resulted in the first actual power grid in Ball Ground, as well as infrastructure improvements with automated switches to power Ball Ground from 2 sources, vastly improving power reliability within the city. Power reliability had become a major source of concern with citizens that has since been resolved. This infrastructure investment was provided by Georgia Power and almost $11 million from the private sector to secure those improvements. When the Cherokee County Board of Education opted to close Ball Ground Elementary School in favor of building a new school 10 miles outside the city, the residents here were a little upset. Eric worked with the Board of Education to find suitable property within Ball Ground Downtown District, negotiated land sales from residents to the district, worked with the council to provide city-owned property at no cost to the school, and provide water and sewer infrastructure and capacity for the new school at no cost to the district, ultimately resulting in a new 1,200 student capacity elementary school being built in Ball Ground and not outside the city. He worked with History Cherokee and the Ball Ground City Council to prepare, submit, and ultimately achieve the Historic Downtown designation on the National Register. Prior to his arrival in Ball Ground in 2000, it was common practice for the city to obtain a tax anticipation note to see it through the leaner months. Following his involvement, the city's never had the need for another tax anticipation note, and his conservative fiscal practices have resulted in a 6-month reserve fund balance. For the past 18 years, the city's received the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. Recently completed the roundabout project that improved the city's only F-rated intersection to A, obtaining a grant for $500,000 from GDOT and a commitment from Cherokee County to fund the remaining $3 million of the project. And sometimes it's hard working with the county and GDOT. He has continuously and stubbornly championed for a truck bypass on State Route 372 spur project to take the heavy truck traffic out of the downtown corridor. With over 20 years of commitment to the project, the bypass is now in engineering, with funds allocated for right-of-way procurement, another $10 million in local funding obligated, and a project let date for construction set for 2029. The heavy truck traffic downtown is rated as the #1 obstacle by both business owners and residents alike. During his tenure as city manager, Eric worked with the community, elected officials, and Cherokee County staff and elected officials to bring desperately needed new government facilities to the city, including the new city hall in 2007, the new elementary school in 2016, a new fire station in 2021, the new senior center in 2018, and the new police station in 2023. During his tenure as city manager, Eric has written and been awarded almost $18 million in grant funds. This does not include joint projects with other entities that have provided funding, such as the power grid improvements and joint city-county sidewalk projects. He developed the municipal water resources, providing for surplus capacity for triple current demand. He fostered a cooperative climate with Cherokee County Water and Sewer Authority, providing for multiple interconnections between the systems, creating redundancy in service delivery, as well as substantial improvements in available fire flow, water availability during firefighting operations. He's implemented remote monitoring capabilities for all water and sewer critical infrastructure. He obtained 50 acres of dedicated permanent green space to preserve environmentally sensitive land. And probably the most important thing is Eric has been a huge champion for Ball Ground. Over the 20 years that I've had the opportunity to know him in my service in local government, there's not a single time that he speaks to anybody that he doesn't speak about Ball Ground with pride. He's done a lot of training, he's done a lot of mentoring to people like me and other people in public government here in Cherokee County. And probably most importantly, he's trained your team here so that they can be successful when he walks out the door. And so, on behalf of all the city managers in Cherokee County, I appreciate you and your service to your community. Thank you.
I know he hates this, but we're not done yet.
I thought you were here for the parking lot lease.
Mr. Turnage.
So, my wife Katie and I, we've been residents of Ball Ground since 2014. After more than 7 years of active duty service as a United States Marine, I was looking for a quiet, rural community to call home and raise a family. Luckily, we made it to Ball Ground. We settled in and began exploring this quiet town. There wasn't much happening, which we liked, but there was a sense of neighborly love and camaraderie that was similar to my feeling as a Marine. Fast forward to 2018. Katie and I opened our business. We walked through the city hall doors, asked the pleasant clerks for the proper license applications, and requested a face-to-face meeting with the appropriate city official to discuss our ideas, plans, seek advice, and ensure we were creating a business that not only met our personal vision, but met a vision that aligned with the city's. walks Eric Wilmarth. Eric is an Army veteran, for those that may know, Marines and soldiers give each other a hard time. But it was never that way with Eric. Quickly I realized this is a man that genuinely cares for and loves his community far beyond himself. He expressed to me how happy he was to see a young couple taking the risk and being willing to bet on ball ground. That's when we heard the slogan, "We don't roll out the red tape, we roll out the red carpet." This statement wasn't meant as a free-for-all, to get away with cutting corners or breaking rules as an entrepreneur. It was a firm handshake that the city of Ball Ground was willing to share your passion and help you to be successful. Eric led the way with that effort. He did and still does take pride in that slogan. When most cities put up roadblocks with regulations and fees, he asks what he needs to do to get out of our way within reason and let you be successful. If you didn't agree with something or there was a requirement not being met, he came to see you or called you directly at the very least. He didn't fire an email with zero compassion. Eric makes you feel like you are the city. Business owners may not hold an official title, but without us or our businesses, Ball Ground just wouldn't be the same. Eric led the way to create that partnership with the businesses. Throughout these nearly 8 years as proud business owners, Eric has become more than a city manager to us. On occasion, we include him in internal business meetings to ensure we are continuing to align with the city's plans. He allows us to educate him on regulations that are set by state or federal departments and are beyond his or the city's control. During our remodel recently, about a year ago, he attended our 80% health inspection at the Department of Health, and his eyes were widened quite a bit at the requirements that we faced. It was a huge learning opportunity, I think, for him. He is never too busy to get in front of his community. I've received courtesy phone calls from him that are not typical of any city official. Just last year, Eric called me at 4:30 in the morning to simply provide me peace of mind that although there was a structure fire up the street, he wanted me to be reassured that our building was safe. He could have waited till 7 or 8 whenever the situation was secured, but he knew our employees were showing up soon and would be concerned with the ongoing situation. As a business owner, I can't tell you how impactful and meaningful that is. Countless times, Eric has been spotted in a manhole repairing city water lines even older than he is. He walks the city every morning. He walks the city every morning. He can be seen picking up trash along the way. He helps to plant trees, clean the streets after a parade or festival, sets up barriers for special events, communicates during emergencies involving the police or fire departments. He even gives the occasional historical tour on the Roberts Lake Trail, which he personally mapped. But not once during any of my experiences with Eric have I ever heard him brag about himself. He's never taken sole credit for his accomplishments. To him, they were passion projects for everyone. Watching his community enjoy them all was all the recognition he ever needed. Besides my wife, there is nobody in this city that I respect more than Eric. He is like a mentor to me, and frankly, I'm sad that he's retiring. Ball Ground is losing a gust of wind in our sails, whether it's his willingness to wear an infinite number of hats on the job, or his ability to slow down and have a face-to-face meeting with a stranger looking to be a small part of his community. Eric embodies the city of Ball Ground. He's a huge part of what makes this city great. That sense of camaraderie I previously had felt when I first got to Ball Ground was because of Eric. Bottom line, Ball Ground is losing an irreplaceable figure. We are grateful, excited that he's not retiring to some remote location near the beach. Instead, he's staying right here in our great city to enjoy what he has helped build, and I'm positive he will continue to be passionate about his community. Thank you, Eric.
Might as well stay standing. We're still not done. Would you meet me out front here, Eric? This is a proclamation of the city of Ball Ground honoring Eric Wilmarth for 26 years of dedicated service. Whereas Eric Wilmarth faithfully served the city of Ball Ground with distinction, commitment, and integrity for 26 years. And whereas through his tenure as city manager, Eric Wilmarth has demonstrated exceptional leadership, guiding the city through growth, development, and progress while maintaining a steadfast dedication to the well-being of its residents. And whereas his vision, professionalism, and tireless efforts have contributed significantly to the enhancement of public services, infrastructure, and community engagement within the city of Ball Ground. And whereas Eric Wilmarth has earned the respect and admiration of colleagues, elected officials, staff, and citizens alike through his collaborative spirit, sound judgment, and unwavering commitment to public service. And whereas his legacy of service will have a lasting impact on the city of Ball Ground, shaping its future for generations to come. And whereas upon his retirement, it is fitting and proper to recognize and celebrate his many accomplishments and years of devoted service. And thank you, Sheena and family, for letting him stay with us for a while. Now therefore, I, Dennis Nelson, Mayor of the City of Ball Ground, do hereby proclaim and recognize Eric Wilmarth for his 26 years of exemplary service as city manager, and do extend on behalf of the governing body and citizens our sincere gratitude and best wishes for a fulfilling and rewarding retirement. And in witness whereof, I here unto set my hand, cause the seal of the city to be affixed on this 11th day of June 2026. That's one thing. This is a commemorative plaque presented to Eric Wilmarth in grateful appreciation for 26 years of dedicated service to the city of Ball Ground. Your impact will be woven into the story of Ball Ground for centuries to come. Anybody deserves the key to the city. You want to get everybody? That's all good away. Sheena and family,
We'll do it after everybody's ready.
we'll go back behind.
I know, it's fine, we'll do it later, thank you.
Can introduce them a little bit more. Thank you, Eric. Okay, we're done with you for now. There are some goodies out there for afterwards. The last thing Eric would have wanted is any kind of a big blowout. So I think this was an agreement that you would be okay with. Cupcakes and lemonade, I
They didn't
believe.
have to do my picture, but we'll Thank you.
Okay, next we'll move on to America 250 proclamation with appearances of the Hightower Trail Chapter NSDAR. Another proclamation. Okay, this is City of Ball Ground Proclamation America 250. Whereas on July 4th, 2026, our nation will commemorate the semi-centennial anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And whereas the journey towards this historic milestone is an opportunity to reflect on our nation's past, honor the contributions of all Americans, and look ahead to the future generations who will carry forward the ideals of democracy and individual liberty that make the United States a unique nation in the world community. And whereas the great state of Georgia was founded as a colony in 1733 and a state in 1788 by the Revolutionary War generation 250th anniversary of the Boston Tea Party in 2023, and until the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Treaty of Paris in 2033. Daughters of the American Revolution are celebrating our nation's rich history and diversity of experience by honoring all men and women who achieved American independence. These patriots, believing in the noble cause of liberty, fought valiantly to establish a new nation. And whereas the Georgia Daughters seek to celebrate and honor our nation's 250th anniversary, now therefore I, Dennis Nelson, Mayor of the City of Ball Ground, commend this American 250 commemoration to all of our city citizens, and witness whereof I hereunto set my hand, cause the seal of the city to be fixed on this 11th day of June 2026.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I'm supposed to shake your hand. Thank you. Thank you.
I got to meet my doctor's wife just now. How often does that happen? Okay, next we have the appearance of our new Ball Ground Elementary School Principal Amanda Blackwell and current Assistant Superintendent Rodney Larada. Amanda, if you'd like to come up and say a couple words, it's up to you.
I can just stand here. I just wanted to come out and introduce myself. I'm Amanda Blackwell. I am about to begin my 23rd year in education, in serving as principal of Ball Ground Elementary STEM Academy, and I'm very excited. I've been serving as an assistant principal for 4 years prior, and then before that, I taught middle school and I've taught elementary school. So very excited as a Cherokee County girl to continue to serve Cherokee County and serve specifically in Ball Ground. So, and serve the students here. So thank you all for having me tonight, and congratulations to you on your retirement.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you and welcome. Okay, that moves us to item 4, adoption of the agenda. Has everybody had a chance to look at the agenda? Is there a motion to,
Sir, we're asking to add an item to the agenda this evening. To add an item G is to consider the recommendation to relinquish a service area to the Cherokee County Water and Sewer Authority.
okay, with the addition of item G, is there a motion to approve the agenda? Motion to approve,
I'll second.
second. All in favor, or any discussion, I'm sorry. All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Next item is our public comments. First speaker is Mr. Ryan Turnage.
I'll keep it brief this time. I think we all kind of know how I feel about the parking situation, so I'm just here on behalf of other business owners as well. Please vote yes to approve the lease agreements for the extension of the 3 lot leases to 5-year concurrent. I think that's a good start in the right direction. It's not a permanent solution. We still got a lot of work to find a permanent solution, but this buys us 5 years. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Turnage. Charlie Lochran.
Good evening. This will be the last time for Eric to give me a cut. Tonight, I'm here to talk about parking as well. While I strongly support approving the parking lot leases tonight, I also encourage the council to view it as a temporary solution rather than a permanent one. Our community's long-term parking needs are not going away. Leasing property may address the immediate concern, but it leaves us facing the same uncertainty again in the future. I would encourage the council to begin exploring the possibility of acquiring property for public parking. Ownership would provide long-term stability, protect access for businesses and residents, and allow the city to plan for future growth rather than continually reacting to short-term challenges. Approving these leases is an important first step, but I hope it will also be the beginning of a conversation about creating a permanent parking solution that serves our community for years to come. I appreciate the city's recent investment in additional property on Valley Street, but realistically, that location is too far away to serve as convenient parking for many visitors, especially seniors, families with children, and customers carrying purchases. I do believe there is an urgency here. Suitable properties in downtown are limited. If the city waits too long to identify and make acquisitions for future parking, those properties may be purchased and developed by others. Once that happens, the opportunity is gone, and we may find ourselves with few viable options remaining. I would also encourage the city to mark the website regarding the parking map to be under construction or under review. In its current state, the legend is not complete and the total numbers are inaccurate. If a visitor cannot see a sign telling them that they can park there, i.e. blue sign with a big P on it, then for all practical purposes, it is not public parking. Public parking must be clearly identified, accessible, and available to the public, not just counted on paper. Thank you all for hearing me.
Thank you very much. Mr. Dan Homiller.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. I'm here to talk briefly about citizens' rights, but more importantly about transparency and accountability. On May 11th, I sent a letter to the mayor, Mr. Wilmarth, and the city attorney to express my concern about an investigation that took place the preceding week. My letter set out the facts as I understood them, which were that a group of citizens had a get-together at a local coffee shop on the morning of May 4th, based on a false allegation that there were 3 members of the council present, as well as an employee of the city. The mayor triggered an investigation into that get-together using city resources. That investigation included approaching the business owner and asking them about who was in their business that morning. That investigation, which included viewing video that captured the get-together, unequivocally showed that the allegation was false. My letter raised concerns about the First Amendment right to freedom of assembly. My letter noted that even if the city's actions did not technically violate those rights, taking the investigation that far was improper, particularly with respect to inquiring with a business about their customers' activities. I asked for an investigation to establish the facts, especially regarding whether there were other city officials or employees involved in creating this mess. I received no response. So 18 days later, I sent a follow-up email to the mayor asking for at least an acknowledgement of my letter. This time I got a prompt answer. Here's what that said. Mr. Homiller, in regard to the letter you sent, what you allege in it never occurred. I never ordered an investigation of any sort on you or any member you were meeting with. In closing, your complaint has no merit, and there will be nothing further in this matter involving myself or the city of Ball Ground. Dennis Nelson, Mayor. This response is disturbing for a couple of reasons. First, it denies allegations that I actually never made. Second, the mayor's email announces on behalf of the city that my concerns have no merit and that the matter is closed. Well, it's not closed. I'm not interested in making this a bigger deal than it really is, but I think citizens' rights against an over and aggressive government are important, especially coming up on our 250th birthday. Sometimes local governments seriously abuse those rights, which I don't think happened here, but when they do, the path to that abuse almost always passes through a government official who insists that he or she can't be questioned. I really don't want the city of Ball Ground to head down that path, and I would hope that the city council doesn't either. So for that reason, I'm asking the council to consider a review to determine exactly what happened here and why, and to figure out a plan to prevent city resources from being misused in this way again. I also continue to believe that the business owners I mentioned in my letter are owed an apology, as are all of the participants in that meeting. Thank you much.
Mr. Wilmarth, in regards to his comments, and I know you only have a few weeks here, you have nothing to hide from anybody or any reason to answer differently. Did I initiate an investigation or order an investigation?
You know, I would not term anything an investigation. You called me with a complaint that you had received about a potential quorum meeting and with a city employee present. Just to be perfectly clear and factual and no disrespect intended to anyone, what the city council does, I really don't put a dog in that fight, okay? But there was an accusation made against one of my employees. That's something that I take very, very seriously. I make no apologies for the questions that I went and asked, the questions that I was able to obtain answers to, and that proved unequivocally that whoever had presented that simply was making a false statement, okay? My employee was nowhere near where it was. So there was no, I went back, I called the mayor and told the mayor, this is what I went, this is who I talked to, this is what I saw, and that allegation is false. And there was nothing more transpired from that moment. So, in public settings, whether we agree or disagree, there is no expectation of privacy. I'm probably the biggest opponent of cameras in ball ground, but I do understand that from school cameras to flock cameras to everything else, they do provide a public safety benefit. But I won't apologize for looking into an allegation against my employee, and I'm actually proud that that employee was completely vindicated. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Mr. Dylan Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. I'm here for two reasons. Briefly, to just say I am in total agreement with signing the lease for the parking. That's something that I think that we need. Gives us 5 years to figure out a solution. So I encourage you to do that. The second reason I'm here, and you can throw me off if you want, this man right here.
Oh.
So you're retiring, and I appreciate the fact that you are getting to do that. I am super, super sad because you have been more than a city manager. You have been here from when I started my business, from when my father started his business. And it's very funny that Ryan Turnage brought up the slogan, "You roll out the red carpet and not the red tape," because you said that to my father about 20 years ago. And my father looked at you and said, "You should make that the town slogan." And you did. And it was true. It was true then and it's true now. What you have done for this city, what you have done for my family, is unmatched. You've seen me through single, you've seen me through married, you saw the birth of my first child who was in the NICU for 12 days, and when that child was in the NICU for 12 days, I bought a house 10 days before that, and you came over there and helped me. You put a hood up on my stove, you were there for me, you talked to me, Sheena was there for me. That's not what a city manager does, that's what a friend does. You were there for me when I went through my divorce. You were a friend then, you were a city manager then. Palmer's gonna be an amazing city manager, I'm sure, and in 25 years, we'll come talk about him. But Eric, this city is gonna miss you, I'm gonna miss you, my family's gonna miss you. Thank you for everything you have done for this city. And because of what you've done for this city, thank you for what you've done for my family, because I live in this city and I own a business in this city, and I wouldn't if it wasn't for you. And a lot of these folks behind me would not either. So thank you very much for everything you've done. Enjoy your retirement. I'm glad you're not going far because I've got your number and I know what you drive.
Gotta have the tops.
And I know what Sheena drives too, so
Yeah.
I'll find you. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you, Sheena, for sharing him with us. Thank you for everything you've done for Ball Ground.
Thank you, Dylan. Okay, it moves us to approval of the May 14th, 2026 regular council meeting minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look them over? Motion to approve. All right, we have a motion, second? Have a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? One opposed?
No, I'm not opposed.
Okay.
I just was slow and said
All right. That'll move us into old business. Item A, consider final reading of sign ordinance.
Had the public hearing on this earlier. I think it's clear we have some work to come back to do on this. I do think it's in the best interest for us legally to adopt what's before us this evening and then take immediate action to address the concerns.
I'll make a motion. It's all the motion then.
Yes.
So I'll make a motion that we proceed with this sign ordinance.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, I would just like to say I agree with what Eric said. There is work that needs to be done on the sign ordinance, and I think the council will rally, and in the next two, hopefully longest 3 months, that we'll get everything ironed out and straightened out in the way it should be.
And we will. We'll work on this, and we appreciate the public's input this afternoon. That was very valuable. And so thank y'all for expressing concerns, and we'll get to work on making some revisions there.
Okay. So we're down to a vote. Consider final reading of sign ordinance. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Item B, consider final reading of the rezoning case 2026-R Robert-01 Alma Coffee LLC, Community Development Director. Soon to be city manager.
Motion to approve the sign case.
Works. There's been no changes since.
No changes?
No, you're fine.
Okay,
I'd second.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Didn't have to say a word.
Yeah, it was easy.
Final item on old business is consider final reading of proposed FY 2027 budget. Mr. Wilmarth.
Yes, sir, this would be the second reading. Public hearings were conducted. The draft budget has been on the front page of the website since the first reading. These are combined budgets of $8.9 million, 23% increase over the previous year due mostly to the new T-Splost revenue stream strictly for transportation. This budget was constructed with the assumption that we would be able to adopt a millage rate rollback to be revenue neutral this year for no tax increase. We have received a preliminary digest from Cherokee County, and that is factual. This budget would be funded by that digest with a full revenue neutral millage rollback from current 4 mills to 3.955.
Motion, we have consider final reading proposed budget. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion. Let's do it. Second.
We have a motion, second, any discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, final reading is in the books. Brings it down to new business. Item A, consider Cherokee County EMA IPAWS MOU with city manager. Explain.
Yes, this would be an agreement with EMA that would allow them on our behalf to use their software system to send out emergency notifications pertaining to ball ground by text message to cell phones to Ball Ground residents. There is no cost to the city.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the county EMA.
I have a motion to approve by Mr. Barnes. I have a second by Ms. Rogers. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Move on to item B, consider Cherokee County Transportation Facility Improvement MOU. Mr. Wilmark.
Yes, sir. This agreement with Cherokee County would kind of mimic the agreement we had on Old Dawsonville Road for pedestrian infrastructure. This would provide for the construction of a sidewalk from the roundabout south to Sharp Mountain Creek. The city would manage the project. The city would have to acquire any easements needed. Don't believe we would need any easements. It's a giant right-of-way down through there, and this is just a sidewalk and storm drain project. Cherokee County would pay an estimated $425,928 of this project, or 72%. Ball Ground would pay an estimated $168,902, or 28% of the project. This would be funded through T-Splost on transportation to connect more residential neighborhoods to downtown.
Okay. We have a motion.
Approve the Cherokee County Transportation Facility Improvements MOU.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Have a second. Any discussion? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, item C, consider first reading of ordinance amendment request for case number 2024-Rs and Robert-04, Two Little Hands Farm. Palmer.
Yes, sir. The applicant has requested the removal of the condition that is listed on the screen here. We discussed it at the work session last week. I have not had any updates or changes since the work session.
Okay, has everybody had a chance to look at it? Any motion?
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion to approve?
Second.
Have a second? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank
Item D, consider parking lot lease agreement and terms. Mr. Wilmarth.
We have been discussing these parking lots for a couple of months now. We have signed leases for the red lot, which would be a new construction. We had discussed that at an investment of $109,200. It would extend the existing green lot for a new 5-year term, beginning at $8,200 a year, ending at $9,600 a year. It would extend the existing gravel lot, or the orange lot, for 5 years. All leases would end in October. $9,800 the first year, $15,000 would be the final year. City pays taxes, insurance, and the lighting. These leases are signed and will be valid upon your approval. If approved, work will begin tomorrow. Concrete curbing would be poured, is tentatively scheduled for Monday. If it's not approved, we can cancel that, but that's what's scheduled right now.
I'll make a motion to, Mr. Mayor, to approve the lease. Second.
Second. Any discussion?
I think this is a right step. as some of the other people said, it's a good stepping stone for 5 years out, and then we begin planning that possibly even one day they may come to us and say, would you like to purchase this parcel, if that opportunity came about, so I support it.
So this is being funded from SPOS, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So this is a, this will be funded by our, any sales tax that we get.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Go down to item E, consider potential demolition of 120-140 Valley Street house. Mr. Wormhole.
So we discussed this at the planning retreat, also at the work session. I think several of you have had an opportunity to go through the house since. The original purchase was for overflow parking or downtown parking in that area. The house can be removed. We do have $53,000 escrowed on this purchase that can only be spent on this property. The last discussion that was on the table was demo the house, put in concrete curbing and a temporary gravel lot basically on the footprint of the house, and then south towards the post office, leaving the bulk of the land in its current state of grass and trees. The estimated price, if you want to move forward with that, would be $43,000. That includes house removal, demolition, concrete curbing, the gravel lot, and estimated between 24 and 30 cars, depending on layout. We took the liberty of moving forward since we'd need the information anyway on lead and asbestos testing. That was accomplished yesterday. We know asbestos is not present. They do not think lead is present, but that's still being tested.
Okay.
We've all gotten a request from a citizen.
We need a motion.
Then I'd like to make a motion that we table it.
Okay. Motion to table. Any second?
I'm open to table for 30 days to discuss it a little further.
Do you want to change your motion to motion for 30 days?
That's fine.
Yeah, that'll be till our next meeting, so that'll give us 30 days to iron out any, I know there's some citizens that wanted to talk about it as well.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Any discussion on what, motion? Table?
About
Problem.
the demolition of the house.
The cost, I mean, we're gonna be looking at, we're looking at $150,000 to $200,000 to renovate this house. And then we got a lot of ADA compliance issues that have to be. So if we go forward with renovating this house, probably looking at some type of structural engineering review, probably looking at an engineer and have an architect. We're looking at $150,000 to $200,000 to renovate this at a minimum, probably more than that. And so that's why, and again, I'm from the neighborhood, and I'm okay with demolishing. And while it is an older house, that is a pretty piece of property there. And I understand the citizens' concerns, and I really do. But it's in the best interest of the city, I believe, and the taxpayers. We've got a lot of other expenses come up. And so for our use of it and what it would cost, I just think it's in the best interest of the city and the citizens to demolish it. I don't know what we're gonna gain by delaying it 30 days, but if we're gonna do that, I mean, that's my discussion.
I'll add on to you, I look at it every day I go down my driveway.
went back and put pen to paper the other night, and I don't have it with me, but I believe the
I
mayor
do.
does now.
The estimate, a safe budget would be 250,000 to address any surprises. There, the items that you knew about for sure totaled to 187,000. We paid 775,000 for the property, so the taxpayers paid that. We owe a balance of $756,734. So you're going to have $1 million in here if you keep the house and get it up to use where it can be used for a city purpose. It cannot be leased. There is a prohibition on that based on the loan. And approximately $875 a month in utilities. You'll lose 9 parking spaces if you keep the house.
I'd like to make another comment also. Not only is it gonna be expensive to keep the house, it would be nice if we could, but we can't, as a city, afford it. We still have infrastructure, improvements that we need to do, and they're quite expensive, and I just don't see it being feasible at this time to use taxpayer dollars to continue to keep the house.
For that millage rate that he was talking about, our actual, so whenever Eric's talking about our millage rate going down, that means city, you may see an increase in your tax bill, but it will be because of your property value going up. But maintaining our millage rate and actually reducing it, that's a big deal for a city our size. And so if we were to afford this, then guess what? Our millage rate's gonna go up. So we're going to have to increase taxes by a significant amount to, over $200,000 to afford keeping this house. And that's just what we know about.
I want to also comment that this is a historic structure in a historic district, and it's a contributing building to the historic district. And I think it's just reasonable to see what the citizens have, what proposals we're talking about. I don't have time to do it.
I checked just a little while ago in Georgia Department of Community Affairs, what makes a property historic must have 3 essential attributes. Has to be old enough, 50 years old or older, although that's a general rule of thumb. The integrity, property must retain its historic physical integrity. That means the property must be relatively unchanged. This property has had changes to it. And significance. Finally, and most importantly, a property must be significant to be considered historic, either through direct association with individuals, events, activities, or developments that shaped our history, or by embodying any of the distinctive physical and spatial characteristics of an architectural style or type of building, structure, landscape, or planned environment, or 3, by having the potential to yield information important to our understanding of the past through archaeological, architectural, or other physical investigation and analysis. I just want to make sure all of that information's out here so everybody knows.
And because it is a contributing structure to the city, having a historic district that is on the National Register, meets all those requirements.
Is this house,
Except for that, it would need some kind of exterior maintenance.
is the house on the National Register?
The historic district is on the register.
But the house
And-
itself?
And there are certain properties that are listed as being ones that are important enough to be contributing to the fact that it is a historic district.
In order to have a historic district, there had to be an inventory done and a listing of all the historic houses in that district to obtain the designation. So this particular house was listed in that study.
And that may be just because of age.
Yes, yes.
And I'll just chime in on,
Some of them are about the type of architecture.
the reason for my delay for 30 days, I didn't see a big rush to get into tearing it down. It's not something we, like on some other case, we need to do right away. But for 30 days to hear what people have reached out that they want to convey their plan or whatever input, and I think that's valued to at least consider what they have to say and allow them that time to say that. So even at work session and when we come up with that and have this again, if they want to share that at that time or in between, reach out to council members, you know, I'm open to that. So moved if we do that, if we allow it to go through.
Any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second to table for 30 days. So we need a vote on that. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And any opposed?
Are we gonna schedule them to come to the work session?
Wait, how many voted to table? 3 to table?
Yeah, no, I said.
4 to table? Okay.
They went.
All right.
Would that be something we have a public hearing on to have them present to us, or?
I think a work session.
What's the work session? Oh, that's
Sorry.
right. You're no longer here.
We could have a public input meeting, specially called meeting if we would like.
Before next month's work session.
And that, I feel that a way, they can bring their thoughts together, for us to hear. Eliminates a lot of that social media rumor stuff and gets it right to let us hear what's actually there.
Okay. So we have a vote that it is tabled for 30 days. All right. Let's move on to the next item. Item F, consider possible lease purchase of cameras and tasers for police department. Who's
Sir,
addressing?
we've received 2 proposals here. Chief and I met earlier and believe we're in agreement to go with proposal 1 unless city council would just like to go with proposal 2. The first proposal is kind of the baseline package with Axon. Again, this would bypass the server in the police department, body cams and in-car cameras. All that would become cloud-based and maintained. They would get away from the thumb drives and whatnot. Prosecuting attorneys, defense attorneys would be able to just receive links instead of downloading videos to thumb drives and getting that to people. So the total proposal over 5 years is $195,055.62. Just to share the other one briefly, $214,585 is a software upgrade to the body cam that serves as an interpreter. So if you have someone on the interstate in the middle of the night that speaks no English, the body cam will work as an interpreting device.
52 languages.
So that's the difference between the 2 packages. The agreement that Chief and I came to on how to pay for this is really threefold. One is there were $35,000 appropriated in the sales tax budget that was going to replace their server within the police department that the videos are housed on. So that goes away when it's cloud-based. There would be a need to maintain that server, which is also backed up, but until we work through the life of the videos currently stored, it would still stay in there, but we wouldn't have to upgrade the server. PD currently has 2 vacant positions. They are working now on filling one of those positions. What we discussed was withholding the filling of the 10th and final position until October 1st. That has a savings of personnel and benefit costs through that period. And then also is the last resort, really hate to include it, would be revenues from the Red Speed camera. I think we should be hesitant moving forward on any type of debt or lease payments where we think we're going to use those funds, because the objective of that camera is to achieve compliance. So you hope that fines go to zero, that nobody speeds through that anymore. So the safest approach is to use the personnel method combined with special local option sales tax.
How much will we save on withholding second position?
Just shy of $15,000. So it wouldn't zero out, so there'd be, if another issue arose mid-year, I hate to zero out that $35,000 line item the first month of the fiscal year. You want to receive some kind of buffer if they have an issue that needs to be addressed.
Mr. Mayor, I think October is being generous. I'm very particular and picky on who we bring in this community. And from what we've seen so far, we have one that's in the pipeline now. But anything past that, I would be shocked if it's October 1st, to be honest with you. I'm just that picky. And I'm not gonna settle. I'm gonna select who we want, who we bring in. I'm not gonna settle for just somebody that checks the box. So I'm looking, Eric's being, I was looking towards Thanksgiving, to be honest with you, before we even, provided they get through the testing periods and all that stuff. It's competitive out there anyway. When you find that right applicant, it can take a little bit, but we're prepared to wait. October's not a problem.
And the $35,000 in SPLOST is something we allocate every year because the voter referendum required a certain dollar amount to go to public safety. So that's already allocated. So future years, I would make up that difference between that $35,000 and real growth in the digest. We have real growth each year.
So the prices that you have per year is based on your staff?
It's on 10, and that's a great question. It's on 10. For instance, I don't have a car camera in my car. I have the body camera. Won't work without it. But that camera that was designated for my car will go into the very next new car. So we are already going to be plus one. So that's a great question. And as we grow, say we get 12 people, 13 people, then we'll readdress it. But this is budgeting for 10, and then taking those 10 and using them as we need to.
But you only have.
Currently, we have 8. We have 10 allotted.
Okay,
So
so
it-
this is based on 10.
Correct.
But you're not really anticipating hiring until October, correct?
Number 10 would be in October.
Oh, number 10,
Yeah.
okay, I'm sorry.
Number 9 is in a pipeline now. We'll see how that works out.
But, okay, so this is based on the whole year though, correct?
Correct. It's a
So-
contract broken down into 5 years.
Okay, but wouldn't it be, the first estimate be based on, if you're not gonna hire until October, it's almost, the whole year is almost over with. So wouldn't it be,
Budget year.
be,
The payments are based on our budget year. Budget cycle. Correct.
I forgot, I always
Correct.
forget that, okay.
It took me, when you break down the math, you gotta
Yeah,
remember
Yeah,
new budget. So, and they're not billing us till September. So we'll be well into the new budget.
right.
What about warranties and?
Great question, because right now, something breaks, it's on us. We are out of warranties on our tasers. Not only are every single piece of equipment warranted for the 5 years, we get a refresher, we get a replacement. What they do is in 24 to 30 months, they come to you and they say, here, we're switching yours out. Mine works perfect. We don't care. We're switching them out. So you're really getting 20 different cameras based on this 5 year, because they're gonna do a refresh. I'm sorry.
That's on body
On the body
cams,
cam.
not in
You're
cars.
actually getting 20 body cams because they're gonna do a refresh on the body cams, and that's in the contract. Something breaks, they don't even ask a question. It's in the mail to you, and you mail the other one back. That's the good thing about being as powerful as they are. One body camera to send it and wait for the other one, they're not sitting on that because they need to put the money in the bank. That's one thing that with Axon you're buying, is that warranty, and again, we've seen that these tasers are good for 2 or 3 years, and then a battery pack goes out, or taser runs you $4,000, and the battery pack on taser, it's up there.
So this includes the tasers?
Yes, sir. tasers, body cams, and car cams.
And it goes to the cloud.
Goes to the cloud, and that's, I can tell you, we were messing with the server today. And not only does it go to the cloud, but it's recognized and protected by the criminal justice system and recognized as a secure network. So if we go to court and we have to produce evidence, we can tell them it's protected by case law and by the government as a entity to accept evidence. Where a server, they ask me, do other people outside of law enforcement have access to your server? I have to say yes. Now, they've never broached it, and I don't think those people would. They're good folks. But I don't have to ask that question and give the answer. I'd much rather give it's protected by case law of the government, that it is secure, and that it's not tampered with.
Then on the financial part, I heard a couple of these folks talk about grants.
Yes.
I know Mayor Nelson mentioned that.
Mhm.
I think Ms. Benefield has as well.
Yep.
Is there grant money for this, or do you have to do it at purchase? Or
No, any grant money that we would get would go towards the balance of whatever year we're in. So we could apply it to, we could break, it depends how the grant is, how quick you have to spend the money. But I would love to break it down to all remaining years, or if we gotta use it that one time within X amount of time, then we just apply everything. 2 more grants came out yesterday that I already looked at, community grant and another body camera grant. Gotta be careful with some of the body cameras, because it's for implementation of a new system. Now, I would consider this as new because we are going from Motorola, which, they make great radios, terrible body cameras and stuff. So we are going to a new system, but it's not the first time that the PD's had body cameras. So you've got to weed through some of that, and we're already started on it.
Well, I don't have a vote, but I would be in favor of option 1 because I believe you can get translation equipment much cheaper than what this would be, $15,000 over.
Well, there's some apps out there that we can use, and again, you're talking 20 grand, that's half of the contract. And I watched the video on it's great. You literally hit a button, and it automatically starts picking up the language that person's talking, and it relays back the whole dialogue. If I really wanted to sell it to you, I'd stretch it and say, hey, look, we could use support, we wouldn't have to have an interpreter. But I'm not trying to do that. I think we can make it with just the basics that it comes with. It's a great add-on, but is it worth 20 grand? Eric and I were talking, it's something that we can add on. Say we have our funding up and y'all have some money you want to spend, I'll be more than happy to add that into the contracts for years 2, 3, or 4, or however you want to do it. So they're not shutting the door, I'm not shutting the door on it immediately. I just don't think we need it to get it kicked off the ground. We realize it's a lot of money, and it's a commitment for each year. So that's why we want to it's kind of like having a turbo. You only need it when it's there for that 1 or 2 incidents. But right now, we don't need a turbo, we just need a good running car.
Okay, I guess we're ready for a vote. Consider possible lease purchase of cameras and tasers for the police department. Are we looking at option 1 or option 2?
I'd like to make a motion for option number 1.
We have a motion for option 1. We have a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
And I'll need 5 volunteers to test the tasers out when they get here, so I'll let y'all know, thank you.
I've done that before, no. Item G, relinquish to Cherokee County Water Sewer Authority.
Yes, sir. What we're asking for this evening is to relinquish, if you can see on the drawing there, if you're familiar with where the Wheeler House cottages are, we would like to abandon our water line in that area all the way nearly to Goss Lane. The reason for that is we have failing infrastructure in that area. It's a 2-inch galvanized line. We haven't typically had the problem in Ball Ground. Typically our galvanized lines stay open, but in this area the galvanized line is starting to grow closed. We're developing a pressure problem in the area that's getting us close to state compliance. We're required a minimum of 20 PSI to a meter at all times, and we're approaching that number. To upgrade that line to today's standard, we're looking at a need of $301,472. That's based on some bids recently received at the county, so just applying that linear footage. What we would like to propose instead is that we submit a request to the Cherokee County Water and Sewer Authority to transfer these 13 homes from the ball ground system to the Cherokee County Water and Sewer System, since they already have an 8-inch line laying right in front of the houses. It's kind of the whole purpose of House Bill 489, not to duplicate government services. So with them having that line right there, we could make that transfer for an estimated $46,000. We would lose 13 customers. I think I put it out earlier today in an email. I think to do the 301,000, it'd take 45 plus years of total water bill collection to recover that investment, and that's not realistic. So our request is to allow us to submit that to Cherokee County Water and Sewer for abandonment.
Quick question, have you
Yes.
talked to Cherokee County Water and Sewer verbally about it?
Yes.
And were they open to it?
Absolutely.
That's the new line they just completed this past winter
Part of it,
that went along there? Okay.
part of it.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Second. Any discussion?
Does this impact your?
We're already on Cherokee County. So just beyond that line out to the preserve is already on the Cherokee Water and on the new pipe.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Item 9, the last announcements by the city manager and public meeting. Is that right?
Just the last one's by this city manager.
Right.
Yeah, we had a good month in May compared to last year. We had 14 permits issued for new construction. That puts us one ahead of last year's pace. On our account balances at the end of May, we were at 3.25 million. Each of you have a complete copy of the monthly financials. For May, we had total revenues of $1,337,000. These are fake numbers. I hate to say it that way. My wife would disagree because she's an accountant. But on SPLOST, you'll notice 888,000. That's actually the money moving in and out from the purchase of the Valley Street property. So that's the 775,000 moving in for the purchase and the 775 moving out. So we really didn't have that good of a month in SPLOST. Year to date, our revenue is at 7.25 million against expenses of 6.24 million. On our capital projects, we wrapped up the stormwater project on Valley Street. Just a little bit of what they were dealing with there. We talked about how the pipes were full and the bottoms had rotted out. So that's what it looked like on the inside. This one wasn't as full, but if you notice, we had a habit back in the day of ball ground of not using manholes to join structures. So you would just jab one pipe into another one and turn directions. So we fixed that at the same time. On the right-hand side, a lot of folks wonder why. We build roads and do roads, we have to buy property. And then by state law, all other utilities are allowed to locate on our property. This is a challenge to work around. As you can see, the two large gas lines there, they're 4-inch gas lines. The last thing you want to do is break that, and we're trying to worm our own infrastructure in around what is there. So that's why they have to pay annual fees to be on our property. Valley Street, paving was complete and striping complete in that area. The sidewalk connection we've talked about on Northridge for many months has been completed and is now open. Probably the most exciting thing we're waiting on right now is on or before June 28th, there's a congressional mandate, it's a statutory requirement, that we'll be notified whether or not we get our build grant. If we get our build grant, this is $25 million towards the bypass. If we secure that $25 million, the project is in the bag. So we are anxiously awaiting. Would like to shout out, didn't expect it, whatever, but we've heard from Senator Ossoff's office on this almost every week on the efforts that they are doing in supporting this funding. So, good news there. On 372, on the bypass, we are in the process of submitting requests. They can take 4 to 6 months, but to allow us to move forward with right-of-way acquisition even before plans are approved. These are areas that are in conflict, proposed development, and we're asking for permission. For those not aware, when we want federal funding, we have to play by federal rules. Federal government does not allow us to go out and buy right-of-way until they have approved the road plans. If we do, we lose all federal funding. So there's a process that we say, hey, this might endanger the future of our project. Can we buy it now? So we have submitted those requests. State Route Business 5 resurfacing project from the roundabout north to Nelson. Project is programmed. The bid let is November of 26, and paving will be in the summer of 27. It's a $1.25 million project with the city of Ball Ground obligation being $250,000. We got good news from our attorney this evening, and it appears we may be able to bypass the court with a consent agreement with the living trust from the gentleman that owned the post office, that here in the near future we should be able to enter that property, make the necessary repairs to that pond, and then lien the property or lien the trust to recover our funds. On parks, we got some big months coming up. Palmer's going to have a busy July. The lighting for Lions Field, the new lighting is scheduled to start the first week of July. So it'll be new metal poles and LED lighting there. Great thing about this, it comes with a 15-year turnkey warranty. In the first 10 years, even the light bulbs are covered. So not a lot for the city to have to do there. The same week, they'll start the conversion at the tennis and pickleball court to put in 6 pickleball courts. And we will begin soon on the pavilion on the old community building slab. So we've dressed up the entrance there to Calvin Farmer East. I think Palmer shared some at the work session, but the new mapping and whatnot is up on Roberts Lake Trail and the interactive videos that he has done there. And then we got the new Roberts Lake Trailhead sign installed last week. Everybody, I think, that's the bucket truck. That's Bucky. For downtown, you know, years ago, every time we went to something, it was, what about the rocks? It's what Ball Ground was known for. You kind of got tired of hearing it, but when are you going to do something about it? It was, I think, a good experience for our downtown manager the past few days, been in training down in Douglas, Georgia by Carl Vincent School of Government, and they spent about 30 minutes talking about how did Ball Ground do this and how did Ball Ground do that. So we're starting to get statewide notoriety and recognition for the change that's been made. And a lot of that has driven people to our community and our downtown. They spent a lot of time talking with her and asking her to share on how social media was presented. A small town like ours now at over 18,000 followers, but 2.7 million interactions last month across our social media platforms. And all that goes to drive customers to our downtown. And so phenomenal work. Downtown also emerging as an economic engine. For years that was questionable. You might have 2 businesses downtown. And I know our downtown merchants feel fragile, and I've always felt like downtown was always, you know, on that fragile cusp. But it's really changing downtown. Don't want to sound like we're a bunch of alcoholics, but alcohol revenues downtown this year will be about $24,000. The excise and licensing taxes received by the city will exceed the property taxes for downtown, and again goes to the economic engine that is being created by our downtown businesses. 170 employees currently in our downtown district. That's a lot of folks, and it makes our downtown our single largest employer. On water and sewer operations, Ion Water, we're up to 1,200 meters now with this new technology. We have suspended operations for right now, just a little bit paranoid on spending money. We're in a good position, but with the end of the fiscal year, we want to make sure that we meet bond coverage this year. So we've stalled this project for a little while till after the first of the year, and we'll make our next order of meters. Doing a lot of water quality testing right now. Our samples are in. We're going through a full radioactive screen of our water. We have never had an issue in this area. We don't anticipate an issue. There's never been any detection, and that's why we're on a once every 5-year cycle to just test and verify. Over the next couple of months, we will be doing lead and copper testing at certain locations within the city. We have removed every lead service line in the city. Every galvanized line previously exposed to lead has been removed. So all we are testing now is homes constructed prior to 1982 that have copper tubing with lead solder. One I wanted to share a little bit more about tonight is another test we're doing, disinfection byproduct rule. And I really hate to spend the last meeting having the fire department think I hate them, and I don't. I love the fire department. But fire has kind of outpaced water systems. What happens is we distribute water to the furthest reaches of the system. The longer water remains in the system, your chlorine starts to dissipate. If the chlorine dissipates too much and becomes too old, there's actually a cancer-causing chemicals that can be released because it's gotten too old. We have not had this problem. Okay, we have tested clear every time we test. But what's happened is fire has continued to up the ante, if you will. We are, and our license is all about water quality. And there's an effort afoot to kind of turn us into a firefighting utility, which we are not. So the push right now to have such massive lines to increase pressure and do these other things exposes us to bad water in the system. Other utilities that I've worked with in some locations are dumping up to 1 million gallons of water a day on the ground just to maintain water quality and meet what fire wants them to have. A lot of our system is 6-inch and 8-inch lines. Based on our current storage, if we have a complete break on an 8-inch line, we have 91 minutes to find it and cut the valves off. 91 minutes, if our system is full on an 8-inch line, we would be empty. Looking at the new standards that fire would like to push to get lines up to 18 inches, our system would be totally empty in 13 minutes. Not to mention the fact that if we don't have leaks, we'll be dumping it on the ground to maintain water quality. So as we move forward, it's just something, encourage everybody just to remain aware of. Our number one mission is water quality. Finally, a project underway right now that is going to benefit Ball Ground. This is by Cherokee County Water and Sewer Authority, and this is a water line extension on Cons Creek to connect to Yellow Creek. This connection is being made so that they won't have to dump so much water anymore. What it will do for Ball Ground in the meantime is when the booster pumps are running, we have a vacuum loss downtown. That vacuum loss will go away once this is complete. So about another 16 months or so on this project. But this project is about $7-8 million to try and keep up water quality. They have the pockets to do that. We really don't. So just something to be cautious of moving forward. And if I could, just at the end, I'd like to say thank you for the comments earlier. I don't receive that real well. I get embarrassed easy. But I would like to say, in our community, tempers flare. We have different ideas. We have different ways of doing things. But at the end of the day, Ball Ground is a city that's always embraced community. It was that way 26 years ago. It's that way today. Sheena and I chose to make our home here 12 years ago. Could have gone about anywhere, but this is where we chose to be. It's a good place. Our staff, we're kind of like a little island of misfit toys. We're not your typical little group of employees. Over the years, we have hired people that weren't afraid to think outside the box, weren't afraid to respectfully challenge leadership, didn't just go with the flow. And you never want that. You want a team that's always willing to disagree, to argue, to bounce things off of each other. And it's a wonderful team that has been put together here. But something else is changing, and she's probably going to throw something at me. But with Karen retiring a couple years ago, 18 months ago, and then Mayor Roberts retiring, and now me, we have changed our median age like crazy. I mean, the insurance rates are going to plummet because just getting all these old people out of the way, it's a wonderful thing. But it's also an exciting thing with the youth that we have brought in with the fresh ideas and the ability to do things with technology that I wouldn't even have dreamed of. And it's been a good team that has been established. I'm proud of them. You know, it's Michelle. There's Michelle out there. You know, if it's a bad day, I might stop at the liquor store on the way home to get Sheena a bottle of Captain Morgan. And, you know, Michelle's always at the drive-thru. And it's, but it is it's a good fit. So I say, you know, this evening I'm wrapping up. I am not sad. I'm excited for the next chapter of life. This is where Sheena and I get to focus on family, and it's been a great ride, and I'm grateful. And thank you all, and thank you to my wife and my family, and we're going to go have fun.
Okay, before we get to the cupcakes and goodies, is there a need for executive session?
Not for me.
Okay. All right. I just had one quick question in your presentation before we adjourn. The paving on Ball Ground Highway North, did that take into account the mess up there at the intersection?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it resurfaces the entire area. And one last item, Palmer and I had breakfast the other morning with the area engineer. Our downtown is officially on program for the $11.1 million project. They don't have a let date yet, they don't have a time, but the thing he shared with us that I thought was really good, overcame a concern, was that once it's programmed, it doesn't matter who owns it. So if the bypass gets done first, that money's still programmed for that segment of road to completely reclaim 372 from the traffic light to Northridge Road. So it'd be a full depth reclamation and put that road in great shape with no trucks on it.
Great. Okay, we just need a motion to adjourn. We have a motion, second. All in favor?
Comments?
Good.
I wanna thank the people that worked on the sign ordinance in alphabetical order. Scott Arms, Daryl Cardell, David Dean, Chief Chimpala, Dan Humler, Christine Rogers, Palmer Rogers, and last but not least, Eric Woodman. Look forward to getting that, this committee changes in a couple months.
Anybody else have any comments? Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Congratulations, Eric.
Thank you, sir.
You made it through another one. We're adjourned. Please enjoy the goodies outside.